Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we're going to be talking about Sith Eternal today with Darth Bane, now the Conquest character. Is it time to drop everything and farm Sith Eternal? I know all of you have been waiting for me to kind of make this statement, and with 2024 here, I want to kind of give a fresh look at this, give you guys my thoughts on this character. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment down below, and of course, let's give a massive shout out to our channel members. Those of you on the council, you're not yet a master, but you still have a very special place in my heart and obviously on this channel. And to those of you at the Wampa and Jedi Master tiers, thank you guys for continuing to put your faith in me. I is so much appreciated. Let's get into this video. So, Sith Eternal, being the galactic legend that I have been taking a dump on for forever, is now getting a lifter unit. We are, about what? 2.5 months away from Sith Eternal getting the lifter unit. That is Darth Bane. Let's break this down a little bit. Let's talk about how Darth Bane is going to be impacting this character. We talked about that already. So this is going to be really how Darth Bane is impacting whether or not you should be starting the journey for this character. Sith Eternal actually has fantastic requirements. When you look at this first grouping of 5 characters, you've got Palpatine, Darth Vader, Royal Guard, Piet, and Krennic. Of those characters, only Director Krennic doesn't have overlap with a farm or isn't used in a good team, because Royal Guard, although not required for anything else, is a fantastic character. It's basically a staple in the Lord Vader team. When you go to the next grouping of 5, you've got Sidious, Maul, Dooku, Marauder, and TIE Bomber. Sidious is not used anywhere else. Garbage. But Darth Maul is a requirement for Leviathan. He might be hot trash, but you still need him for Leviathan. Count Dooku, a requirement for Lord Vader. Sith Marauder, not a relic requirement for Leviathan, but he is a very solid pilot. And then Imperial TIE Bomber is a requirement for the Executor at 7 stars. So, again, 4 out of these 5 things either used in a Galactic Legend type farm or are a good character. And then, finally, you've got down here the, used in a good team, right? Used in a good team or Galactic Legend form. And then in the final grouping, you've got Anakin, Thrawn, Tarkin, Veers, and Stark. Here, there's only one overlap with Grand Moff Tarkin being required for Lord Vader, but everybody else is super, super solid here. These are all great characters. Veers, Stark, really good Imperial troopers, with Veers kind of leading the one team. Stark either slotting in there or going with Iden. Jedi Knight Anakin, fantastic with Qui-Gon Jinn, Padme. His ship is good. You've got 2 fleet commanders here in Thrawn and Tarkin. His racks are actually off the charts. So, I very much like this guy, and for a long time what we used to say was, hey, you back into him, that as you've gotten all the rest of these things, you can kind of back into getting Sith Eternal. Because performance-wise, he wasn't that good, let's be real. Without Darth Bane, performance-wise, he's just kind of meh, right? Compared to the other GLs, he doesn't act like one. With Bane, particularly in Grand Arena, a lot more stuff is happening. So let's get started with like the big things here of, all right, if you're below 4 million, you're all looking at me like, I can't get Darth Bane. Correct. But if you watched Nooch Too Good, big shout out here to Nooch. Nooch got Darth Malgus long before he was available for Improving Grounds. Because if you remember, when you go through Conquest, guys, as those characters, when they're the primary reward, you cannot get them in Sector 1, right? The first time you can purchase those shards is in Sector 2, just to show you. Like here, you got Terran Malicos shards popping up now. But when you get into Sector 2, for this current Conquest, where you're still getting shards for Darth Bane and Gideon, you can still purchase Gideon shards. And they're cheaper than the Darth Bane shards. So, what you're going to be able to do, if you look at this, you can start purchasing, even after, the next Conquest character comes out, you're still going to be able to get Bane shards. And then, even after the next one after that comes around, you can still purchase those shards. Yeah, you can still purchase Fury Class and Terran Malicos in the Scavengers. So, rushing Darth Bane, if you already have Sith Eternal, I would be going all in on him. Because the rest of these Conquest characters are not going to give you that much benefit like having a Darth Bane would. So I 100% believe that. I think that's going to be something that I would be recommending for any players in Conquest below 4 million. If there's a character that you're looking at and saying, this will make a big impact in my account the minute I unlock them, just spend all of your currency on them. It's the smartest thing to do. It will give you the most benefit that you can get, right? Very much believe that. If you're above 4 million galactic power and you have Sith Eternal, I'm going to tell you that you should be going as hard as you can in these conquests. trying to get Darth Bane, whether it's in 3 Conquest, getting the red crate, or anywhere from 4 to 6, depending on purchasing of the pass or not and how many shards you can get. Remember, you can get box 6 as a free-to-play. You can get box 6, buy all the Darth Bane shards while he's the primary reward character, and still end up with a full 7-star Darth Bane after 6 Conquests. If you look at my Dark Trooper Gideon, I bought all the shards. I got box 6 last time. I'm 75 shards away. If I get box 6 here 3 times, there's 75 Moff Gideon shards, and I'm good to go. I'm going to be pushing for red crate here, so probably won't need those. But again, you can see the concept. They're proving the concept. So if you're above 4 million and you have him, you need to be trying to push as hard as you can for Darth Bane. Because he's going to take your Sith Eternal and lift him to a level that otherwise he's not operating at. And especially you think of for a player like myself, I'll use this example. When you go to my Separatists, I don't have Admiral Trench because I can't take Wat Tambor away from my Sith Eternal right now. If I can take Wat Tambor away from Sith Eternal, I can use Admiral Trench. And I know all you're going to be like, oh, Trench on the bench. This is still a solid enough team that you put this on defense, there's still some things that will struggle to beat it. So yeah, like, it's a solid enough team that I could throw it on defense. I could use it offensively to beat some stuff. It would give me a lot more options there. And then on the flip side of that, your Mandalorians, think about the armor. The armor is probably going to end up going with Bo-Katan Mandalore, who for a lot of players is a long way away. But a lot of players would probably be like, oh, I don't know if I could use Bo-Katan Mandalore with the armor because I need armor for Sith Eternal. Now with Darth Bane, he's kind of taking that ownership of I'm the babysitter for Sith Eternal, opening up the rest of these characters to be used in other game modes. So I really, really think that Darth Bane is going to be something that if you have Sith Eternal, you got to get him. Now, if you don't have Sith Eternal yet, you're below 4 million, I would ignore. There's far better Galactic Legends to get, in my opinion, that offer you more in like Jabba and Leia and Jedi Master Luke, where they can really they lead in together. They're going to give you a really good base for territory battles, territory wars, Grand Arena, and Conquest. But that 4th GL, Sith Eternal, all of a sudden starts looking nice because he's very easy to get. Very easy to get. Not a lot of Kyrotechs, not a lot of relic levels, not a crazy amount of gear, and he himself is actually very easy to gear. I think he only needs like 200 Kyrotechs. Like, it was not much at all for him. I was very surprised how easy he was to gear. So, all that said, my 100% recommendation would be above 4 million if you have him, rush Bane. Otherwise, I would put him as that 4th GL to farm. When you think about the 2024 free-to-play farming guide that I had released, right? And we scroll all the way down here, I'd said, hey, like, here's this stuff. Orders, roster depending. You kind of throw Sith Eternal in here as that, get these things, and then start thinking about Sith Eternal. I mean, you could even, if you really wanted to, throw Sith Eternal earlier in here. I wouldn't overly recommend that, but I could see it happening, and I think it'd be okay. But I really would keep him as like that 4th GL, because Bane is still primarily, this is the one issue, is that Bane is still primarily a Grand Arena character. And his rule of 2, this is a great unique, right? He's immune to ability, they're immune to ability block, cooldown increase, healing immunity, stun, turn meter reduction, they gain all this nice stuff. But here's kind of the big thing, is that Bane isn't immune to instant defeat. So Bane could get force leaped by Commander Tano, and now you're up a creek without a paddle, and this unique disappears. Because in Grand Arena, there's all this extra stuff that happens, but then the effects persist if Bane is defeated. So if Bane gets force leaped right off the bat in Grand Arena, Sith Eternal's still immune to all those things. So that's the one reason where I'd kind of hesitate, is that those effects aren't, if the effects persisted regardless of the game mode, I'd tell you, like, Sith Eternal becomes like the 2nd GL you get. But because, barring you get Darth Bane. But because that's only in Grand Arena, I don't know that I could recommend building him earlier when there's far superior GLs across every single game mode who aren't completely reliant on a Grand Arena Omicron. Because Jabba is not reliant on Chrysanthemum's Omicron, right? All of that said, guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below on Sith Eternal. Is this a character that you already have? Are you planning to farm them? Does it help me kind of saying, hey, he's like the 4th GL still? Because I think he's very good. There's still a lot of things I don't like about him as a character. There's still a lot that I think is to be desired. And again, I think there's going to be that, like, Jedi Master Kenobi could still be a big problem Force Leaping Bane. Now, I think in Grand Arena, that's fine, but I think outside of Grand Arena, that's still going to be a very popular thing. So I am kind of curious to see how this team operates, but I feel confident saying he's the 4th GL to farm kind of right after you get the core 3 GLs, in my opinion. And then I think if you have him now, just be rushing Bane. I don't care if you're like Phil. I literally can't even do normal, like easy mode Conquest. Guys, if you farm Sith Eternal, you got to go get his team. Do whatever means necessary to get Darth Bane, and I think you will be set up for success in the long term. I love all of you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Let's make 2024 an amazing year. If you're still watching, make sure we hit 10,000 subscribers this year. When we do, if Wampa isn't already Relic 9, our king goes to Relic 9. Otherwise, we'll pick somebody else. I'll make sure that you guys get to kind of vote on that. So may the force be with you, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.